Welcome back to my channel. This is Kurtis Watts, the Alchemist. The Archangel Alchemist, the Love Alchemist. I have a few names, a few personalities. And I am a love coach, relationship coach, manifesting coach, and I break down charts as well. And that's what we're going to get into today. And before we get into that, I want you to subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment below, and share it to others who's going to need this information. Because in the dating world, a lot of people overlook a lot of things. In the love world, people overlook a lot of things. And it's the birth charts, the natal charts. There's only a few people that do it. It's like a handful of the population that does it. And they look at the sun signs, they look at the moon, they look at the Venus. But today we're going to go with a lesson. We're going to go with what you came here to learn and what you came here to overcome. And that is your South Node, North Node in your chart. Now, in your chart, there's the North Node, and that represents something that you're supposed to go towards. And the South Node is something that we need to overcome, like bad lessons, bad habits, past lives. We could go deep into that. But I'm going to break myself down and show you what I mean in relationships. Because two of my main lessons, relationships, were with my South Node. And my South Node is Libra, so that means my North Node is Aries. And I was too much into my bad habits, too much into my lessons with those two relationships. And me now looking back at it is eye-opening. Because, on my last video, I did the Libras. On my last two videos, I did a Libra. And with the Libras, they look for others to make their decisions. They're not really independent. They're not really make their own decisions or go off and do their own thing. They always have to be codependent or rely on someone. And I found myself in those past two relationships kind of in that when I would go independent or start something, they would creep in and say, no, I don't like this. They want my time. Why you don't have time for me? A lot of things. And I'm trying to build businesses and do other things like leadership, but they would come and they would say, oh, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're doing this. Come to me and give me your attention. So now, me looking back at it, do not date your South Node. Don't do it. That's your lesson. If you find yourself in these relationships, in these relationships that don't uplift you or get you to where you have to go, that is your South Node. Look at their charts. Look into their South Node or their North Node as well, and look at their sun sign. Don't date your sun sign. Don't date your South Node, and if their sign is the same as that. So two of my relationships, their sun signs was Libra. And I took those lessons and I learned and I ran with it. And now I'm into my Aries. That is my element. That is my nature. Is Aries. Is leadership. Is me doing these videos. Is me putting myself out there. Is me making my own decisions. Big decisions. Business decisions. Love decisions. And not have to wait for someone or constantly depend on someone else to make decisions for me, and do things my way, or do things creative way, or do things in ways of expressing myself, because this is my lesson. Now, if your North Node is Virgo, if your North Node is, let's say, Aquarius, don't date the opposite of it. Like Virgo, don't date Pisces, because your South Node Pisces is actually going to keep you in that Pisces energy, and you're not going to elevate yourself. You're not going to learn the lesson. So you're going to want a Virgo moon or Virgo sun. If your North Node is Virgo, you're going to want a Virgo sun or Virgo moon. They were going to teach you how to organize, or how to be more into your Virgo ways, and think stuff and strategize, and it's going to uplift you even more, so you don't have to keep repeating the lessons, unless you want to keep repeating the lessons. Like, I know these people may look good, or they may look a certain way, y'all might get along, but they keep you in your comfort zone. I know a lot of people kept me in my comfort zone, and every time I would inch out. I would put myself back, because I stayed within that. I didn't know anything about this. So when it comes to relationships, when it comes to life, don't date your South Node. Don't date it. Go towards your North Node. And if you don't know it, I can help you look at your chart, break it down, and tell you which way to go. If you're in the right relationship, like who you need to go with, even friends. You want to hang and be inspired by your North Node. You can have friends of the South Node. You can have people with the South Node. Just know yourself. Know your limitations. Know your hinders. Know your weaknesses and strengths. Because that's the North Node, South Node. And when you're in your North Node, it's going to feel so natural. But you're going to feel so good. But, sometimes we pedal back to old habits. We pedal back to that comfort, that crutch. And you don't want to do that. You kind of don't want to do that. This is like the whole life lesson is in the North and South Node. So this is how I kind of stay kind of balanced within both. Because I find myself going back and forth. That's why I try to not stay away from Libras, but keep them like cool. Like, all right, I'm not going to date them. Music and following artists. Whoever's in your North Node and like an artist or something, and you see their chart, go towards them. Go listen to them. Go watch their interviews. Go study them, and know how to be more into your North Node, or how to be activated, or how to master it. Watch the artist. Like I listen to Tupac. His moon is Aries, and when I feel like I am backpedaling into Libra, I would go listen to Tupac. I listened to Pac when I didn't even know anything about this. I was kind of like gravitated towards him on the back end when he wasn't here, because like well, this was like 2000. I'm listening to Tupac, and everybody else is listening to the new stuff. I'm like, I'm listening to Pac. I'm like, this is some new stuff. I'm like, it was new to me, and I was kind of stuck. I was like learning my Aries ways through Tupac. I'm like, oh, okay. And then the new stuff was coming out, and then I was like looking at the new music. I'm like, okay. But I'm still going to Pac because that was my life path, my soul path was in that Aries and that leadership and leading people and not really following what everybody else is doing. And I found myself naturally going into that. Sometimes you're going to find yourself naturally going into your North Node when you're fed up with the South Node, when you're fed up with the relationships that looks like it's not going anywhere or it's not elevating you. It's a lesson that you call it karma or whatever you want to call it, a lesson that is elevating you. That's expiration date. It's time to elevate. It's time to elevate. So this video is don't date your South Node. And look at their charts, compare their charts, and make sure y'all are compatible as well and balance each other. It's all about balance. Checks and balance. If they're draining you, if they're draining of your greatness or anything else, if they're kind of holding you back, you got to go and find someone who's actually uplifting you and match you on that level. So again, if you want your chart broken down and see other things, you could hit the link in the description and inbox me, and we will set up a consultation of breaking your chart down, and we could do relationship coach. If you in a relationship and you saying things may look like soulmates or it may look like other things, then you can come see me. That's another thing. Twin flames and soulmates the charts will align as well. The chart will align. A lot of people overlook that thing. So if you have a soulmate or if you have a twin flame, look at your charts and look if y'all balance each other. We're going to go into that more a little later. But that's all for today, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Like this video and share it to the people who you think are in their South Node and need to be more in the North Node. And I'll see y'all on the next video.